Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of My Beautiful Chaos with Misty Fitch of Fearfully Made Ministries. True to the title of this podcast, My Beautiful Chaos, my beautiful family and my beautiful life has been quite chaotic lately, which is why it's been a while since I've had an episode. But this one that I am doing today has really been on my mind probably since the beginning of summer. And I actually asked a question to friends. I asked a question on I think it was my Facebook page, maybe even Instagram. I asked, what is the biggest pressure that you have as a parent? And I was given so many great responses that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to get to it all today. So with today being about the pressures of parenting rather than the pressures our kids see, I want to start with something that happened last week. And it kind of goes, it's one of those things where you just have to laugh at yourself because the pressure I have isn't always just with parenting. It's just pressures I put on myself to have it all together. I mean, I need to know the answer before I'm asked the question. So I need to know the question before I'm asked. Does that make sense? So that's something that I've struggled with most of my life, but I've really worked on it. And anybody who's been around me for a while, probably in the past couple of years, they've seen that difference where I'm just real now. You may see me with or without makeup, and lately it's been a lot of without. I even went to church without all my makeup on this past week, which was hard for me. But it's something that I'm trying to grow out of because really it's a prideful thing and there's no room for that. So, last week, y'all, I'm even embarrassed. I'm embarrassed telling you this, but it was funny at the same time. I go to this gym and I got up really early to go to my class, and this was going to be a really high cardio class. So I'm going to be sweating a lot. So just keep that in mind. The day before, I'd had just a really low impact half an hour class. It's just not intense at all. I was getting dressed and I was looking for my shorts that I wore the day before because really I only wore it for half an hour, like I said, and I didn't get sweaty. So surely I can wear it to my class. And I saw it at the top of we have like a little basket for our laundry, and it was at the very top, so it should be fine to use. But I did think it was weird that it was even in the laundry basket after 30 minutes. But I put it on and I'm going to the gym and I start class. And for some reason, it's like I can't get it out of my mind. Why was that even with my dirty clothes? And then I remembered why. And this is all I could think of the entire class. We have a guinea pig, and my daughter was at camp, and I had to take care of the guinea pig because it's hers. And so I was holding her. She's a sweet little thing. I don't know if you've ever had any guinea pigs, but you might know where I'm going if you have. So I had this guinea pig. I was holding her for so long, just sitting on the couch, feeding her. And y'all, she peed on me. She did. All on me, on my shirt, on my shorts, on everything. And so I put it in the dirty clothes. And all I could think about was, please don't let me get sweaty and smell like guinea pig pee. And it was hard to have a good class, but that was me. So that was me last week. I'm going to my class, having some me time, and all I'm worried about is that the guinea pig peed on these shorts the day before. So, going into the pressures of parenting, I know that's not really about parenting, but it'll hopefully give you a good laugh today. So, I think one of the biggest ones, the thing I heard most from people when I asked what are the biggest pressures of parenting, is meeting expectations. That can be expectations that they've put on themselves, expectations society has put on you, your kids put on you, the spouse puts on you, even your extended family. That pressure, the pressure of expectations in all these different areas, that's what the majority of the responses said. So that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. If we live with all of those pressures that we're putting on ourselves and we're allowing other people to put on ourselves, then what's going to happen is you'll look back after your kids are gone, and you might look back with regrets and what ifs, and you might even question, did we really live a life together, or was it that we were living every day simply to meet expectations. The big one that most people talked about were society and other people, expectations that other people are putting on you. And as my kids have gotten older, I've seen that even more. The pressures that I've felt lately has come down to what is popular. You have to do what is popular because if you don't, it's not right. It's not fair to the kids. One thing that happened to me in the past couple of years was regarding homecoming. Because if you are in Texas, you know that homecoming is a big deal. And before I even start, I'm going to say, please do not hear judgment. So anything that comes after this, I promise it is not a judgment, but I am very opinionated on the subject. I am of the mindset you do what you want to do because that's your kid and the things that you like are not always the same things that I like. So I'm not judging. And I promise there's a reason that I feel like I have to preface with that because people have gotten nearly irate when I state my opinion. So I actually have gotten to where I don't state this opinion as often as I used to. I am from Texas. We have when I grew up, we had moms at homecoming. It's just what we do in Texas. But a mom is exactly what it says it is. A mom is short for chrysanthemum, which is one flower. It's a small flower, and you just wear it. It used to be a corsage. Before my time, it was a corsage like on your wrist, I think. It was a little mom. It had some streamers. And yeah, it's kind of weird, but it's a fun thing. But over the years, and I don't know if it's all of Texas or just my area where I live, these things are obnoxious. I probably should use a better word, but really they are. Every one of our kids have said the very same words that they hate them, they don't want to give them, and they don't want to get them. However, every year it happens and they're giving them. Usually it's by the parent's choice. That's what typically happens. I was actually told by someone that I was wrong when I said I've tried to teach my kids, let's not do this. Once you get older and you're doing the mom thing, let's not try to do a big, huge mom. We're not going to give this big, huge, obnoxious mom unless you're going to work for it and pay for that instead of saving up for a car. That's your choice. And then my daughter, don't be expecting a big thing like this. Let's do something more productive with our money. But what I got was, you can't do that. I mean, that's actually how it was said to me. You can't do that. Because because we were talking about my son, that girl's going to be the only one who doesn't have a mom if he doesn't give her one. Okay, but my issue doesn't even come from the whole mom thing. It comes from that mindset. We need to teach our kids that it's okay to not be like everybody else. It really just takes one person to say, I'm good. I don't have to do all of that to be accepted. It really only takes one person. And then other people, there are so many other people who are doing these things. And it's not just the moms, it's not just things like that. But that's just an example. There are so many people who are doing these traditions and these trends and hate it. And I know that because I have 4 kids in my house ranging from 10 to 18, and every one of them have said how they hate it. And I've talked to their friends, or I've sat there and listened to some of their friends, not all of them, because some of them, it really means a lot to some. But for the majority of the kids that I've heard talk, they don't like it either. So they're feeling that pressure that we're putting on them, but it's only because we feel the pressure of them being accepted. So I feel like I spent a lot of time on the mom, and I'm sorry. But there are these pressures here that aren't necessary at all. Pressures that other people are putting on you. You can never please everybody. How you have your baby. Do you have medicine? Do you have it scheduled? What you feed your kids? Are you giving them organic? Are you breastfeeding? Are you formula feeding? Are you going back to work? Are you staying at home? And you're never, if you are listening to all of these voices of people who are telling you you're wrong and putting this pressure on you, you're not going to be the parent that you're supposed to be. You're not going to be the parent that you desire to be. we have to let those outside noises be mute. Even though it's really loud, we have to have some kind of internal volume control because somebody always has an opinion. Just like what I just said about the homecoming thing. That's my opinion. But that doesn't mean that you need to feel pressure from me to not do these things. So if what I'm saying about that is noise to you, mute that. It's not something to hang on to if it doesn't fit what you feel is best for raising your children. And that is something that I will say, if you have not already decided what you want it to look like raising your kids, what you want that to look like and your family to look like, then you're going to have a little bit more difficult time. Just like if you go into a relationship and you don't already set up those boundaries before you're in the situation, then you're more likely to overstep those boundaries and go farther than you wanted to go if you haven't already preset them, predetermined them. And it helps even more if you're talking about it to the other person. I mean, if you're raising a family, yes, you need to talk about it to the other person. If you have not done that before you have kids, then it is going to be a little bit harder. But right now, wherever you are, however old your kids are, you can decide, I'm going to take a step back right now and I'm going to think about what I want it to look like, what I want raising my kids to look like, and what I want my family to look like. Then sit down and have a family meeting and say, you know what? These are some things that I feel like I've not been doing right. Some things that I want to add. And it's okay. It doesn't matter how old they are. We did that when we had teenagers. We did that. It's okay if you haven't done that yet. So go ahead and sit down and figure out what you want your family unit to look like. What's your mission? What's your vision? And then sit down and talk to your spouse about it and then talk to the family about it. I feel like I'm not even scratching a little bit of the surface of the pressures or even a way to respond to those pressures. It's hard to do that in such a quick amount of time. And I've already gone over the time. And this is one thing. There are still two other big ones. I would love to hear from you on ways that you alleviate the pressure that comes from expectations. So email me or comment and let me know. Until next week, bye. Thank you for joining My Beautiful Chaos this week. If you have any suggestions for topics or questions you would like answered on an upcoming episode, email me at mybeautifulchaos@email.com. See you next week.